Welcome back to Tuesday TTS Daily with me, Yi T for Tuesday, Trigger Tuesday, and we have 3 stories. First up, in China, a mother was not careful handling sharp objects near her child and oh my god. Just stay tuned for it. And please sit down. Next up, in Singapore, 3 foreigners have been arrested for illegally working as delivery riders. Why do they do that? Why? And last up, in Singapore, a cinema goer was pushed down a flight of stairs after a dispute. Oh my god. But he survived, don't worry. A 3-year-old girl in Yunnan, China actually had a fruit-sharp object lodged in her head. Yes, we can't even make such stuff up. This happened on August 15, 2025. And imagine the scene and the look and horror on hospital goers' face when the mother and daughter entered the hospital hand in hand. The daughter, no screaming, no crying, straight face, walking hand in hand in the hospital while the fruit-sharp object was lodged in her head. Thankfully, doctors initiated an emergency procedure lasting hours and have successfully extracted the sharp object from the victim's head. Okay, and for context, no, the daughter wasn't left unattended, causing the incident to happen. It was actually the mother, okay? Though the mother declined publicly to comment, there are 2 variations of what happened. One, the mother somehow lost grip of the sharp object and it fell off, shook off, and lodged into her daughter's head. The other variation, as wild as it sounds, apparently the fruit-sharp object, which should belong in the kitchen or in a fruit bowl, was actually on a bedsheet, and the mother was tidying the bed, flipping the bedsheet, and somehow that caused the fruit-sharp object to flip up into the air, somersaulted, and then lodge into the daughter's head. Either ways, both are wrong, and parents, guardians, please watch out for sharp objects near your children and the young ones. Next up, back home in Singapore, 3 foreigners were arrested for working illegally as delivery riders without valid work passes. Do we have the age of these 3 foreigners? Because there have been certain, news on the grapevine recently that there might be students on student pass actually working illegally as delivery riders. I mean, if you've been doom scrolling a bit, you might have seen certain stories of such. So anyway, the MOM, Ministry of Manpower, conducted island-wide enforcement checks over several weeks, inspecting 375 delivery workers. These operations were prompted by complaints and feedback. Yeah, probably if you doom scroll enough, you'll probably see stories of these. And so far, 3 foreigners were arrested. If you inspect 375 delivery workers and you arrested 3 foreigners out of them, that is only a 1% rate of, people working illegally as delivery workers without valid work passes. So I think 1% is still very acceptable, right? Oh, and MOM is also investigating locals who abated these foreigners by allowing them to use their delivery accounts. So now we know. And the penalties are foreigners working without valid work passes faces fines up to 20,000 Singapore dollars, imprisonment for up to 2 years or both. And the local abaters who facilitate this illegal work by letting them share accounts and such forth also face the same penalties. Please take note, okay? Don't just think that you're gonna be getting less harsher penalties. Just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna do a quick search. Okay, did a quick search and couldn't determine what were the delivery platforms that the 3 foreigners were caught working illegally on. But from my recollection from doom scrolling, it seems to be in a shade of... not sure if I could say it without, really much context or evidence here. It was supposed to be a simple Wednesday evening where Mr. A went out with his wife and son to catch a movie at Waterway Point Punggol, but a dispute after the movie caused him to be pushed down a flight of stairs. This is your last story of the day. Follow us for more. This happened on June 26, 2024, a Wednesday evening, when there was a dispute between Mr. A and the man seated behind him. So like we mentioned earlier, Mr. A, unidentified, was watching the movie with his wife and son, when suddenly during the movie, someone kicked out at his chair, allegedly the headrest area. So he got into a confrontation with the person seated behind him, and seated behind him was Mr. Wong, aged 25. They got into a confrontation and Mr. A went to get staff assistance. But apparently, I believe he went back to the seat first and staff came by later, and Mr. A told the staff, "It's okay, the man behind me is no longer kicking my chair, so everything should have ended there." But Mr. Wong was unhappy about that confrontation and the staff asking about hey, can I help, what's going on? So after the movie ended, Wong forcefully kicked the victim's headrest and then he noped out of there. He ditched, But Mr. A kept pursuit, and during this pursuit, Mr. Wong forcefully shoved him, causing Mr. A to fall back 6 flights of steps. Before we get into further details, first of all, I know you are asking right now, what movie were they watching, right? I'm sure I am not the only one here that needs this context, because it irks me so much when the news doesn't report to me what movie they are watching. So I've taken the liberty of doing a search, and narrowing the choices of the possible movies. So on June 26, 2024, we have these choices, the possible movies. But take note, Mr. A, the victim, was watching with his wife and son. And we're just going to assume the son is a young child. And out of this list, we're just going to cross out the horror movie, cross out the romance movie. So most likely, they are watching Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Could it be this being an action film so exciting it caused out Mr. Wong to kick out in excitement? By the way, Furiosa actually scored 90% at Rotten Tomatoes. That is remarkable. That means the movie is critically acclaimed. However, sadly, it was a box office flop, grossing only 174 million against a budget of 168 million. Big flop. Okay, now, enough context and enough, alleged guessing of the movie, but at least now, feel better that roughly, most likely they are watching Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Okay, now back to the story, okay? The victim, Mr. A, was pushed down a flight of 6 steps, okay? The victim fainted for about a minute, suffered severe neck, upper limb and back pain. And he was then hospitalized at Sengkang General Hospital from June 27 to July 1st, 2024. He was prescribed painkillers and given 30 days of medical leave. And as such, the victim, Mr. A, was unable to work at the part-time restaurant job around 150 Singapore dollars per day, causing financial loss. And the medical bills total up to 1,861.93 Singapore dollars, thankfully covered by insurance and MediSave. So in the end, he only had to pay $93.09 Singapore dollars from MediSave. Wow. And now we have the sentencing, okay? Mr. Wong, believe it or not, because of this incident, quit his job at Sengkang General Hospital where he worked as a porter. Yeah, this is a pure coincidence. The same hospital that the victim was hospitalized at. Okay? So back again. Mr. Wong pleaded guilty to 1 count of voluntary causing grievous hurt and a second charge for kicking the headrest being considered. And he has been sentenced on August 18, 2025 to 4 weeks in jail and ordered to pay compensation of $93.09 Singapore dollars. Yes, just have to compensate for the MediSave portion. Yeah, I mean, it's really a small amount, right? Yeah. But Mr. Wong chose to serve 1 day's jail instead of paying the monetary compensation. Yeah, I mean, since he's already gonna be in jail for 4 weeks, what's 1 more day to save 93 Singapore dollars? Yep, I guess financial planning is important. Yep.